So last week we were talking about Serena Williams' revelation that she is using a GLP-1 to lose weight. And it's a huge deal for her to become a brand ambassador for Ozempic, a specific brand actually, which is called Ro. Given the fact that she is a highly accomplished athlete who is known for being physically strong and healthy, she is counteracting the narrative that Ozempic is the easy way out for weight loss because she has been an example of willpower for the rest of society. And even willpower wasn't enough for her to lose the weight. She needed the help of Ozempic. And that's why they chose her to be one of their brand ambassadors. Now, Jamila Jamil has spoken out in criticism of this brand sponsorship that Serena Williams has done.
And if I remember correctly, we were talking before the show, she has been critical of Ozempic in the past.
She's been on this kick for years now. Jamila Jamil has, not to anyone's knowledge, used Ozempic herself, but she really doesn't like that celebrities are using it in such great numbers and now promoting it openly.
She seems like she's like naturally skinny, and she's like, sucks to suck, ladies. You should be forced to either be fat or do it on your own.
She's kind of mad that people are joining her camp. Now, to be clear, Jamila Jamil is very adamant at this point that this is being misreported and that the media is lying. She claims she never criticized Serena Williams for her use of Ozempic, only saying that she doesn't like celebrities promoting drugs and diet products.
So this is like some weird lame-ass semantic argument.
She's saying it's fine if Serena Williams wants to use Ozempic, that's her business, but she shouldn't promote it. She shouldn't take the brand deal to promote it.
So she did criticize her. She's just either lying
she's
or
mad
making
at the media
some bullshit
for
semantic argument.
Right. Well, she's mad at the media for going with the headline, Jamila Jamil criticizes Serena Williams for using Ozempic because she's...
Okay, that's... Okay, again, that's not even a semantic argument. She's actually right.
That is correct,
but it's
technically, but she's being annoying about it, as Jamila Jamil usually is. So she posted this infographic on Instagram, this huge rant. Serena Williams is selling GLP-1s. The thing I feel most uncomfortable about here is that celebrities have access to doctors most others don't have access to. These miracle weight loss drugs come at a price. The side effects can include paralysis of the gastric system, pancreatitis, cancer, hair loss, osteoporosis, severe malnutrition, muscle mass loss, depression, reports of suicide, thyroid issues, blindness, and they can really wreak havoc on your metabolism. If for some reason you have to suddenly come off, many people gain the weight back and then some fast, and it's harder then to lose. Nobody tells you these things in the adverts and media. You need blood tests, scans, nutritionists, a dedicated weights regimen to maintain muscle mass and bone density. You need medical support. If things go wrong, you don't have $1 billion to fix it. That's why I don't like celebrities pushing drugs with such drastic documented side effects. And she's referring to a lot of the side effects that are named in the amounting to $2 billion lawsuits against Ozempic at the moment. She captioned this, I got this information from the websites of the drugs in the side effects pages. You can go see for yourself. Take the drug or anything you like. Please make sure you have access to healthcare before you make the decision to take any drug that has drastic results. Things can go south very quickly, as is documented in many lawsuits emerging regarding these medicines. They can be amazing for some, but also devastating for others, so make sure you're prepared in case you're one of the unlucky ones. P.S. Many people have asked me to highlight the fact that Serena's husband is an investor in Ro. I didn't know this, but that definitely changes the whole conversation. Another reason we should take every celebrity endorsement with a pinch of salt. This post is about transparency, not judging Serena's body, nor is it judging you or your decision to take a GLP-1. It's a factual, evidence-based plea to make sure you have adequate medical support if you do take these drugs. They're for the long term, and we should always be prepared for anything that can significantly change our bodily functions for better or for worse. Imagine if she made a post like this about hormonal birth control and talked about the risks, the documented risks of hormonal birth control. I don't think that would go over so well.
No, Olivia Rodrigo's fans would come for her.
No, well, Olivia Rodrigo, to be clear, was giving Plan B, not birth control. But she then posted a video trying to clarify what the headlines were misrepresenting about her post. Let's show that video.
I'm actually surprised, before we get to that, how many of the people in the Pop Crave post are like on the side of the GLP-1. It's kind of interesting. All right, here we go.
Up to a bunch of headlines about me saying that I attacked Serena Williams. I slammed Serena Williams. I ripped her. Ripped her? What is that?
I mean, that was just a clever writer coming up with something other than slammed, which is the one everybody uses.
I didn't say anything about Serena Williams specifically. She can do what she wants with her body. I think transparency is great. We need more
Looks
of
like
that.
she's carrying a bottle of, like, vodka.
It's
From
kombucha.
celebrities. I do, however, just think when it comes to any celebrity endorsement, when they are millionaires and have billionaire husbands who are invested in the company that they're promoting, they have access to doctors, personal trainers, IVs, nutritionists, personal chefs, people who can maintain all the things that can suffer when you take such volatile drugs. These drugs can be amazing and life-changing and life-saving for some people. They can also be literally life-ending for others. There are serious side effects, as there are with any drugs, but these drugs are suddenly becoming trendy and they're being pushed everywhere. You look, every second you're online by celebrities and influencers, and there's little to no transparency about the fact that it's not just an easy miracle that goes really well for everyone. One size does not fit all, and I just want a bit of more medical transparency, and I want people to know that you shouldn't be getting this stuff from telehealth places or places, Medi-spas, where you're not going to speak to a doctor who's going to follow up on making sure that this is safe for you and going okay. You need medical support. America is a place where people have so little access to healthcare. In fact, 16 million people, I think, are being kicked off their healthcare as we speak. So I just want us to be responsible, and I think those of us with power and money and access have to be especially responsible, and we have to declare when we have family members who have shares in the companies that we promote. And that's not a diss against Serena specifically. It's saying that we have a celebrity and influencer issue when it comes to
It's just a very, very posh, like, well-worded diss.
Right.
It's still a diss. She's lying.
diet and detox products and many different types of drugs. And we just need to make sure that we're more careful, because these are people's lives, and these are people
Shut
who
the
don't
fuck
have the
up.
same access and privilege and support that we have.
Why are
So
you
let's
annoyed?
Look, it's your job, if you're going to go to a doctor and get a prescription medication, to ask as many questions as possible and do your job as the person who's going to inject this shit into your system. It's not the fucking celebrity influencer's job. If you're an idiot who takes advice from a celebrity influencer, you're a moron.
Well, that's what Chelsea Handler didn't do in her account of taking Ozempic. Her doctor just gave her the prescription, and she was like, okay.
I'm just gonna
Didn't know it was Ozempic and injected it in her body thoughtlessly. So most people don't actually ask as many questions as possible. And I guess that's what Jamila Jamil is trying to express here.
I guess maybe she is the ad supposed to say, "Hi, I'm Serena Williams. My husband is a financial investor in this company."
So to be clear, Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, is not a billionaire, but he co-founded Reddit. Imagine dating and then marrying the OG Redditor. I wouldn't want to be her. But he is indeed an investor in Roe and serves on Roe's board of directors.
He's probably on the board of tons of companies. If he's that wealthy, if he's a billionaire, he is likely invested up to his eyeballs in tons of brands and companies. I don't understand what that has to do with Serena Williams, choosing to market this product.
Well, she wouldn't have marketed the product if her husband wasn't invested in it. That's true.
I mean, maybe, or maybe she just would like.
She has a personal interest in it. Obviously,
I'm saying, but like she's a big enough name herself that any GLP-1 could come to her and be like, "Do you want to?"
Yeah, but she wouldn't promote those. She would only promote the one that actually benefits her and her husband because they're invested in it.
I mean, that, or it depends on how much the weight loss actually matters to her. If her husband wasn't invested in this one, she'd be invested in another. She would work for another one. So I don't see how this specific one changes anything for her. She would be theoretically using the product either way because she wanted to lose weight, despite the fact that she didn't need to lose any weight, or at least it didn't seem like she needed to lose any weight.
Well, I guess the people that were initially blaming her husband for this decision actually were right for the wrong reasons. Jamila Jamil captioned this video saying, "I wrote a lengthy Substack defending Serena's right to do whatever she wants with her body. Her body has been policed enough over the decades. It's not about her or her choice. It's about how celebrities promote drugs and diet products. All gloss, none of the inconvenient truths." And Jamila Jamil also...
Does at any point in the ad, does Serena... or the little voice of the guy who speaks really fast at the end of the ad saying the side effects are this. Does it say the words consult a doctor?
Probably yes.
That is the end of their responsibility. Legally, she's talking morally.
Yeah.
That's not how the real world works. That's not how advertising works. And if you expected it to be that way, you're a moron.
Well, I guess she's just saying in an ideal world, Serena Williams would make the ethical decision of full transparency that her husband is invested in the company.
Sounds like a real moneymaker.
Yeah. She's been early to this, though. Jamila Jamil is one of the first celebrities that spoke about the widespread use of off-label Ozempic in Hollywood. She blasted the use of Ozempic at the Oscars in 2023. And then just back in December last year, she bashed the use of Ozempic in Hollywood, saying it's a bad example for kids.
Somebody needs to write an article about her pretty privilege, being skinny, her skinny privilege.
The amount of people in my industry taking it to go from slim to super skinny to finally achieve the obedient waif aesthetic to fit the obedient sample size. Waif?
Is that like a term for like a super skinny person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has been hard to watch, especially for those of us who fought off eating disorders. Who are they really doing it for? I plan on sitting out this cycle. Curves will come back. They always do. Then they will go away again, then come back. I'm not playing with my brain, heart, bone density, or metabolism for a trend. You can be left behind in a loop. And she has spoken about battling anorexia in the past and shared a photo of her looking super skinny, recalling the time as her pretending to be happy and pretending to not be on the verge of fainting. So this is something that really tugs at the heartstrings for her. I also saw a recent headline of former Little Mix member Jade talking about how she's having a daily battle with herself not to go on Ozempic. And now there are also rumors that Kendrick Lamar is on Ozempic. I have no idea.
Whatever happened to just celebrities doing cocaine? Okay, there's
the old-fashioned Ozempic.
There's plenty of ways for celebrities to lose weight that will not deteriorate your gut health. It'll just ruin everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, this is like deeply infantilizing to people to talk this way as if these as if all of these companies haven't been running ads that are bullshit for decades. And it's, if I did agree with one thing, it's that in the US, it probably should be illegal for these pharmaceutical companies to run ads, right? Like, it's something that most countries do not allow, but we do here. And you're expected to have the base level of knowledge that if you feel like a medication is something you need, you should go talk to a doctor. And if a doctor gives it to you too readily and doesn't ask a whole lot of questions, it's your job, since the only duty you have is to yourself and your own health, to go get a second opinion. But most people don't want that. They want whatever is the easiest way out of whatever situation that is. That's usually medications. But if it feels like the doctor asked you, hey, what's your name? What's your age? What's your sign? And then just gave you a prescription.
What's your sign?
Like, that's just,
what's your rising?
You're not, like, your body is like one of the biggest investments you're going to make in yourself. And if you're just going to throw it away because one doctor gave you a medication too quickly, then you should go get a second opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do think there is something especially sinister about Serena Williams's endorsement, just because she was chosen for her athleticism. She was chosen
that
because
more than her
she's
husband,
known for being a physically impressive individual, and they wanted her endorsement because she's not overweight and never was.
Yeah.
That is what I think makes the ad more sinister, not just the fact that her husband is invested in Roe.
Somebody brought up the opioid epidemic. It's the opioid epidemic all over again. Again, have we not learned anything? as adults who went through that time period, there have been whole documentaries and TV shows now that have been made about, what happened with the overprescription of opiates, back in the day, and how it got really hard to get your hands on them, even if you needed them later, because of all of the lawsuits and all of the things that happened within the medical industrial complex, because of all of the medications that they were giving away when they shouldn't have been. So all that you can really do to safeguard yourself against stuff like this is that they're never going to have your best interest at heart. Profits will always be put first above all else. The best thing you can do is to be very, very fickle when it comes to these medications. Do not just start taking things. Ask your doctor. See a second doctor if you think that the first one gave you a medication too quickly. I understand that with a lot of things, it's very easy to kind of pass the buck off to the medication, but it's not always the best call for most people. And again, this medication all of the weight loss stuff is off-label use anyways. Like it's prescribed for people with diabetes. So
it's also not a one-to-one comparison with the opioid crisis, because I don't think Ozempic has any addictive properties. But
it has long-term side effects.
Yes, it's something that you could become dependent on.
You can absolutely become psychologically dependent on something.
But it's not chemically addictive.
When it's tied to, it's going to be tied to the serotonin in your brain that starts getting depleted once you lose the weight.
But it's not intrinsically chemically addictive.
When you put the weight back on, you're going to feel a psychological dependence on that medication to stay on it, to stay thin, because it doesn't instill the habits that are required to lose weight without it. It does not instill the ability to get up and get exercise when it's the last thing you want to do.
Like, I understand that, but Ozempic still is not intrinsically chemically addictive as a substance. Like, that is a distinction that matters.
In this case, I don't know how much that's going to matter when the lawsuits come down later on. And I think a lot of it is it's going to be people's own doing, because they didn't actually do enough to figure out whether this was going to have a long-term effect on them.
Right.
So...
Well, what's $2 billion to Ozempic?
No,
anyway?
that's for any of these companies. It's basically just a fine.
Yeah,
for them. They're going to make way more money off of it. So,
thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.